Hello, and welcome to another episode of Behind the Scenes in Business. I'm your host, Emma Farrick. I'm the founder of Elf Operations. I'm a systems and operations strategist. If you're new to the channel, I am running this series to talk about all the nitty-gritty things behind the scenes in business. This is a solo episode recording today of monthly evaluations in your business. We're going to talk about how to structure them, how to set them up, and what to be looking at within your business. So the first things first is how often to, this is going to be about monthly evaluations. There's tons of evaluations that you can and should be doing as a CEO of your business, weekly check-ins, weekly metrics, or evaluations to be having. And then obviously there are things higher level, quarterly, yearly. I think a good rule of thumb is whenever you're doing the check-ins, you really reflects and mirrors how in-depth you're going to be going with these evaluations. So when you're doing a year check-in, it's going to be things like your goal planning. Quarterly, you're going to be in and focused on quarterly goals, quarterly plans, quarterly evaluations, or you're looking at things from bigger picture. Monthly is going to be all about reviewing the last month, reviewing things that aren't working, looking at the metrics, making sure we're gathering the right data. And I'm going to talk a lot about if you are just a solopreneur, how you can implement this kind of stuff. And then if you're in that point of, yeah, these are nice to do, but I don't have enough time to do them, how can we delegate some of these tasks? And if you are someone who has a team, can you be potentially utilizing your team to help you with these evaluations so that when you go to sit down and do them, the data is already there for you? Because that's a key thing that a lot of people, I don't think, put into their system or their process sometimes, or gets overlooked because that's why it's not happening. They can't even do these evaluations because they're spending so much time gathering the data or like starting from scratch. So we want to make sure, you're creating standardization in your business. If you are new to following me, new to my channel, new to my network, you'll hear me talk a lot about standardization. That is actually the S within my Simple Ops framework. If you want to know more about the Simple Ops framework, drop a comment below. I'm happy to get you. We're working on getting a resource out for that to explain it because it's newer and it just really describes perfectly what we do for our clients, is helping them get out of that survival mode within life and business. There's different ways we do that within Elf Operations. If you're watching, I have another series called Thrive Over Survive, which is all about getting out of survival mode in your personal life. So its big mission here within Elf Operations is to get out of survival mode. So if you're in survival mode in your business, this is going to help you, these monthly evaluations, to check in on what's working, what's not working, and to really help you get into that planning mode, that creation mode as a CEO. And even if it's just you, it's great to start these habits now and in your business and carving out that time for these instead of saying, oh, this is a nicety that I would like to have. Like, you need to work towards that. Yes, I have Lila and my baby in my lap. She was eating, so hopefully she can stay calm for the rest of this live. But here she is. You can kind of see her below. So what we're going to be looking at is monthly evaluations, what to be looking at, what to be incorporating. Sorry, that threw me off track because Lila was done with her bottle. And I moved my notes. So monthly check-ins, what you want to do is probably carve out, especially if you haven't built this in yet, is I would take the first monthly evaluation session of what do you want to be evaluating. If you're not setting goals, that should be the first thing you do. I would say set out a quarterly goal. Plan out for a quarter. It's easier that way. And then you're also having a longer term vision to be working towards. It's giving you direction in your business. So what are some of the goals that you have for your business? What basic blah, blah, blah. And if you've seen my Success Without Stress. Oh my gosh, we're jumbling up today. Success Without Stress training, or any of my other trainings in the past, if you're overwhelmed by goal planning, which is something I've talked about in other lives and other videos that I've done, is if you're stressed about that, or if it's overwhelming to you to do that, start with a goal. Everyone finds it easy to set financial goals. So obviously you'll have financial goals that you want to hit each month. Like, what's your sales goal, your revenue goal? What's an operational goal you have, like to improve your business or to get something set up to make it easier for your business? What's a marketing goal you have? Like, if you have a marketing initiative going on in your business that supports the sales goal, like those have to be in alignment with you, in alignment for your business to work cohesively. So those goals, if you're overwhelmed, should be set. If you don't have goals like that, or if you're not tracking your goals, do that first. Set aside around about, I would say, for the first couple 2 hours, because you always want to give yourself a buffer time of how long you think it should take. It should take you we want to get it down to like an hour of evaluation time. But I would say start with 2 hours if you're just implementing this into your routine and into your monthly. And I would say do it at the end of the month, to look back at the month. So last day of the month or the first day of the next month, to look back at the previous month. So what were the goals? Did we hit those goals? If we didn't, why not? If you're newer in business and you're like, I didn't hit my goal because I didn't have enough time. Like, what did you spend your time on? If you don't know what you spent your time on, and you don't use a calendar app, I would say track that for the next month to see maybe if there's areas within your business that you can automate or simplify or delegate. Those are usually the key things that we're looking at. So just, this is a time to be evaluating in not a place of beating yourself up, or not a place of shaming yourself as the business owner. It's to be logically and rationally evaluating what's working, what's not working. And it's okay if something's not working. We just need to know that and be aware, because you're never going to fix a problem if you're not aware of the problem. So this is time for you to be looking at the big picture in your business. Sorry, she's moving me because she's kicking me and my seat is on a swivel. So this is to be looking at like the big picture within your business. So, if there's something going on or something not working or something that's working well that you've standardized, can you automate it now or delegate it? If it's not something that can be automated, it has to have a personalized touch. Can you improve? What kind of improvements can you be making within the next month that helps work towards your goals? Or are there ideas that the team had that need to be filtered and planned out? So I would be looking at that from an operational standpoint, and documenting any lessons learned from these within, a notepad or ClickUp. I love using ClickUp for a lot of things in my business. I plan out, and I have an idea filter within there. I plan out, okay, well, this is what worked, this is what didn't work. How can we prevent this from happening again? Really just trying to problem solve anything that's going on in the business. That's from an operational standpoint. Then there's the other area to look at is your finances. And a lot of these will go, the operations pieces and the finance pieces will tend to have overlap, in the sense that if you didn't hit your finance goal, it might have something to do with operations or sales. So if you have sales and you didn't reach that sales goal, you're not going to reach your financial goal, and most likely, because those should be hand in hand or overlapping. But also you want to be checking, like, are there any late invoices? Why are there late invoices? Reviewing I have a bookkeeper. Best thing I outsourced first and foremost, because it's not my zone of genius. So if you're still DIYing it, in your monthly evaluations, you should be going through and making sure your books are up to date and working, or up to date reconciled, expenses are categorized so that you can even look at that. I would be doing that on a weekly basis on a CEO day, but if you can't, you're going to need more time in your evaluation. But you want to look at those numbers of how much profit, how much what does your profit and loss statement say? What is your margin? What is your expenses? Is this reoccurring expenses? Is it one-off expenses? Just kind of digging into those little details and evaluating, what does our finances as a company look like? Is it because we didn't hit a sales goal, or did we have maybe more expenses on team time because something in the operations wasn't working right? And digging into the data and just kind of evaluating what does it tell you. So, and then I'm also looking at, when I'm looking at my monthly finances, can I support the future financial goals that I have next month? Are we at capacity? What is our MRR? And I do this for clients that I'm working with as well. So if you're like, I can't support anymore, but I want to increase my revenue goal, that's when you should also be looking at, okay, what can we do in operations to help us increase that capacity? What are things that we could cut? Are we doing things that we shouldn't? So looking at those marketing and those finance goals, and then also looking at the metrics for your marketing. If you have goals or plans of growing your company, growing your social media, or maybe you're growing your referral program, your YouTube channel, or your email list, those are just obvious, very common ones. Are you tracking those metrics? Are you tracking the growth? If you're not tracking that, and you can do that in ClickUp as well. I have metric lists in ClickUp if you're interested or looking for a template, comment below. I don't have an opt-in form just yet built for these. My team and I are building out the resource page slowly but surely. There's been a few snags in the past couple of weeks, but if you're interested in that, comment below, let me know. We can get it to you. We can get that to you for the metrics tracker if you don't want to use a spreadsheet. And why you might not want to use a spreadsheet is because at least I can set reoccurring due dates with my metrics to make sure someone's pulling them and then seeing them and calculating them and putting them into a dashboard. There are data softwares that you can use for this. I think I talked about this in the metrics training, but some of them are expensive and pricey if you're still trying to bootstrap it. And if you don't have enough sales or data that would be going through, it's kind of more worth it to assign this out to a VA, but just getting really clear on where they should be pulling the metrics from, where are they going to be living, and sending that up in either a spreadsheet or in a ClickUp list, because they do offer calculations now and they have table views within ClickUp that you can do this, and then you can just build off of that list in your dashboard to create visuals for you and for your team, because some people, the data is great, it's all there, but if you're not a data analytics person, which I was in my past life, you're not going to want to look at just the numbers. You need a visual, you need to help you you need that to help you understand. So just getting those built out for the first few of like what are we tracking would be your first session, and then going through honing in on, okay, now we got the process mapped out for the monthly evaluations. I'm going to delegate it out to my VA, and then all you have to do as a CEO is come in, look at the data, look at the dashboards, and start making better decisions and really get into that planning time of, okay, how are we going to solve problems for the business? What direction are we taking this? And just doing check-ins of how's the team doing. This is also a time I would say to look at, I know Lila's loving this, to look at your team performance if you have one. I'm not going to get into too much detail. I'll go into more detail about that in a later video, because I really want to keep it on mostly, goal tracking evaluation. So finances, marketing, operations, because operations is going to help you improve on a lot of those places, and just having that reflection of what, and you can also do this if you're a solopreneur, personal goals as well, like just reflecting on everything in your life as a whole instead of segmenting everything out. I also have a CEO checklist that breaks down, you know, things that to recommendations and like a starting point basically of questions to be asking monthly and quarterly within your business. We are updating that to include weekly check-ins if you have CEO time weekly, which I recommend you having. But if you want access to that, again, please let me know. Or if we have it up by the time, we will update the description with the opt-in once it's completed, or you can comment and you don't see it and we'll get it to you. Lila, come on, honey. But it's just a lot of the questions that we talked about here in the live about, you know, operational goals, operational questions to reflect on, financial tasks to look at and reflect on. And then if you have marketing and sales initiatives, which sales and finance really overlap the most because sales initiatives are directly impacting your financial numbers. And Lila is now getting very fussy. But I'm so glad for you if you've joined us live or if you're watching the replay. Let me know if you have questions in the comments below, what your biggest takeaway was. Feel free to reach out to me and we can connect on a complimentary call if you are struggling to figure out what you need to be evaluating, or if you're evaluating your numbers and you're like, I don't know how to make a plan to fix this, or we're trying to implement these operational initiatives, but they keep falling off our to-do list. I would love to talk to you. I'd love to help you. And if you are interested in the CEO checklist with these questions and or the ClickUp templates that I referred to, comment below and we can get them to you, or check the description. My team might have added them in since this is live. Depends on when you're seeing this. So I think thanks for joining us.